to Myers Metal Detectors, located in sunny Tampa, Florida, where we sell nothing but fun and adventures, treasure hunting gear, and anything you can imagine for metal detecting. Give us a call, 813-237-1939. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Live from sunny Florida, it's Treasure Talk.
Welcome, folks.
Good afternoon, evening.
Yes, welcome, folks. Welcome to another exciting edition of Treasure Talk.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. In the land of thunderstorms tonight.
Okay, so I just heard a rumble through on you. So
That's not my stomach because I done that.
hopefully we won't have any power outages or glitches, but if we do, we always seem to get through it.
Yep, we will.
Well, I guess I better get started then with the disclaimer.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, of course, you know today's show is brought to you by your friends at Myers Metal Detectors, where we sell fun and adventure. And of course, the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the Treasure Talk guests and members belong solely to the guests and members and not necessarily to Phil Myers, Jocelyn Myers, Jeff Owen, or Myers Metal Detectors. Boy, that's a lot to say. And the purpose of Treasure Talk is to promote the hobby of metal detecting and treasure hunting and to educate our members in a fun, informative manner. And that's what we strive to do every week. And I think we get the job done often.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have another round of it tonight.
Absolutely. And I know Ed is the guest, and he's a XP Deus user, and I guess a Legend user and an Equinox user. So
yeah, well, those seem to be the triumvirate, and in the order of sales, probably Deus 2, Legend, and then the Equinox.
Yeah, they're all multi-frequency, and they all do an excellent job. And the two newcomers to the game have really stepped up. They're really nice units. So
yeah, you've been selling a bunch of them, haven't you?
Yes, and that Legend Pro Pack, they just came out with a stimulus package that puts all kinds of accessories in with it. So if you're interested in a Legend, go ahead and get that one now, because I don't know how they'll keep that special going. But excellent detector, and I'm sure Ed's going to talk about some accessories for that. Oh, one thing before we bring Ed on, I do want to remind people, if they're interested in a brute magnet, the magnet fishing kits, I do have them in stock. And I just want to let people know, if they're planning on getting one, get it sooner than later, because I just saw an email come through where they're raising their prices on their products because of manufacturing costs have gone up. As you know, with just about every industry there is, everything's gone up. Manufacturing, shipping, the whole 9 yards. So if you want to get one, get it quick.
Yeah, the manufacturer gets hit on every avenue, as does the dealer, because they got to pass it on. It's just the way it is. They get hit with the material costs and then shipping costs. Then you get hit with the price increases plus the shipping increases.
Right.
The shipping is crazy.
It is. It's
everything's crazy. It's a good thing I like wine. Yeah. Ain't that right, Jocelyn?
Yeah.
She's going to have some wine,
We'll
yes.
test it in a couple weeks, Jeff.
That's right. We'll work on that.
Yeah, work on that.
We'll get the little cassava head to bring some wine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some Italian wine for sure.
Yeah. That's what we'll do. Yeah, that's the ticket.
That's the
ticket.
That's that.
Yeah. Okay. I think we need to get into the show.
Yes, absolutely. Let's bring our guest on, and I'll let you introduce him, Jeff.
Everybody, you have seen this young man before. He makes exceptional products. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. The service is outstanding. He's very knowledgeable. As we alluded to earlier, he is a Deus 2 user. He is a Legend user, and he has used the MindLab Equinox. And he's got some new stuff in store for us. So let's go ahead and bring on Ed from Detect Ed in Australia. He's down under, eh? Hello, Ed.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. It's good to be back. How are you?
We're good. We're good. How's things down there?
Yeah, we've had a really, really rainy season, which is very unusual, but yeah, otherwise really good. Really, really good.
So you're in your winter time now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, in the southern hemisphere here,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
right in the middle of winter.
we're
So
here
what,
about 100 degrees.
what's
Well, actually, it's very mild. It's very mild where I am. It's the stereotype is that it's very hot, but it's not really that hot in Australia, down the south side. So, yeah.
So you're in
Anyway,
southern Australia, right?
sorry.
Where are you at in Australia?
So yeah, towards the south end, yeah.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah.
towards Antarctica.
Oh, okay. So you got
I mean,
some cold air down below you. So
yeah, that's it, and it comes up. It comes. The southerlies bring it up, and it's very cold. We've had a few southerlies the last few days, so yeah, it's good for erosion on the beaches, though.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I just
Yeah.
want to mention here to everybody watching, if you are on Treasure Talk on Facebook, the Treasure Talk page, Jocelyn is monitoring that page for questions, and I've got pretty much everything else here. So somebody's dinging. Must be Phil's phone. If
No.
you've got questions, get them in the chat. We'll do our best to get them answered for you.
Yeah, that was a
Howard
user, Howard Metz, and he's saying he doesn't see us on Facebook, Jeff, on Treasure Talk. But
Well,
I
he's
don't.
got to look because it's on there.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
And we're also streaming other places too,
Yeah.
other Facebook groups.
I mean, I'll look, but I connected it.
Jocelyn just said she looked and it's on hers. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a Facebook is
How
kind of,
is phone now? Yeah.
yeah. So Facebook is kind of squirrely anyway. But we're on YouTube.
Yeah, to say the least. Well, we getting a bunch of people saying they're watching it on Facebook, so
Yeah, everybody's saying it's on there. So
yeah.
so I
Howard
guess
just didn't click it correctly.
yeah. And Jeff, I'm sorry. Remind the folks how to get their name showing up on the Facebook feed so we know it's them.
Okay, when you click on on it on Facebook, you'll see where it says I'm going live using StreamYard. You click on that and you give StreamYard permission to use your name. That's the only thing it does. It lets it show up on the chat so we can see who it is on Facebook. Otherwise, it just tells us Facebook user. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, then that gives us your name, and that's just much easier on us because I'm working on limited intelligence in my best day. So if you can help me out, all the better.
Yes. I like it. When I was running the show, I could never tell who it was, Jeff, on Facebook. So I'm glad you reminded them. So, Ed, why don't we just get right into it and tell us some new products you've got coming out?
Yeah, okay. No worries. Well, as you guys know, I can see Jeff's a big fan of the Deus. I watched your show last week as well. And you got a couple of Deuses in the background. That machine's, yeah, it's a brilliant machine. The Legend also brilliant. They're both very new in the scheme of things. And basically with, just one second. As a lot of you may know, our major product is like the Detect Dead carbon fiber shaft for the Equinox. And our kind of, yep, Phil's got one there too.
Right here.
And essentially, my whole design philosophy when I make a product is that I want to make something that actually solves a problem that, I only come up with them because there's a problem to begin with. I don't just kind of invent them for the sake of making them. So with the Equinox, it was a bit wobbly a lot of the time, especially if you had a lot of sand in it. The weight, it wasn't super heavy or anything, but my one, this one's a lot lighter. And essentially, my philosophy is that I just want to make accessories that because I've come up with a problem myself, because I do a lot of detecting myself, and you guys too, you probably come up, with things, your own personal solutions because of a need. And right now, the way I see metal detectors going is they're trying to get lighter and light. Like that's the next big thing is to make the detectors lighter. because the technology's got so good, like with the Deus, for example, and the Legend, they're both so good. They're so quick. Their processing speed is so fast that you don't have to go low and slow anymore. You can kind of go a lot faster. Now, my logic is that you can cover a lot more ground if you can move faster and find more stuff. So if you can swing your detector 20% faster, cover 20% more ground, you're going to find 20% more targets. And that's really important at the beach where there's a lot of ground to cover. And definitely there are scenarios where going low and slow helps, of course, especially when there's a lot of stuff, or it's very deep. But definitely if you can swing faster, you can find more stuff. So my solution is to make detectors lighter. That's the big one. And so for the Deus has two problems, in my opinion. What do you guys think about the Deus lower shaft? I mean, it's not really a problem, but it does have a bit of flex in it, kind of, because it's a plastic.
We need something a little stiffer, carbon fiber, a total carbon fiber shaft for the Deus 2 with a locking mechanism on for the remote control would be perfect. Now I have mine modified where I drilled a hole and I run my antenna for water hunting up through the shaft and then out the hole and attach it. So something like that would be absolutely killer.
Yeah.
And I know that you make great cam locks.
Yeah.
So, I like the Deus 2 cam locks. I don't like the stuff with the push buttons and that kind of stuff because it just doesn't last. But I know your cam locks are great, as are the Deus 2. So, something to lock that remote control on would be awesome.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I was going to say my thoughts on the Deus 2 is that lower shaft. If you're tall, you've got it extended way out, and then it makes that problem of wobble or flexibility so much worse when it's extended all the way to the end. So
especially for you tall guys.
Yeah, the tall guys have the problem with that.
I know Nick Haas wants it to be longer too, as well.
Understood. So I've been working on a product for the Deus, and it's going to be a little while still, but I've got a sample shaft here, and this is it basically. So this is a carbon fiber profile. I wanted to keep the Deus profile because it's very thin and it slices through the water well, as you guys would know, especially Jeff, you're in the water so much, that having like every millimeter here, you can feel the difference when you're swinging. It makes it, even taking the coil cover off makes it easier to swing. So definitely I wanted to keep this profile, and then I want it to be stiff. So this is obviously completely rigid, being carbon fiber. And the last thing is it's actually 30% lighter than the original lower shaft. So this is the first one. We'll go with a lower shaft to begin with, and then probably work our way up and make the middle shaft if needed. Like I said, I don't just make things just to make a full carbon fiber for the sake of it. But if it comes up and people need it, and there's problems with that middle one, I'll make that as well, and I'll make longer ones or whatever's required, kind of as it comes. But this will be essentially a lot lighter. It'll still slice through the water, and you're going to be able to swing fast and not have that wobble. So that's our major product that we're coming out with. Rather than 75 grams, I think it'll be around 50 grams. So that doesn't sound like much, but it's a big deal when it's that far out.
I want 2 of them.
Okay.
And are you able to drill a hole in it and have it ready for that antenna to already be?
So I don't have a coil connector on this one, so the doesn't have an end on it, but it will have a hole in the end. That's going to be both for water drainage, which is, in my opinion, essential. And it'll also be able to feed the cable up there, no worries. So you can feed the cable all the way through to the end. And in fact, I have the other thing that might come after is the dive shaft. So this is my Deus with just one that I made up. Basically, I have everything. Normally, if I make an official one, I'll make the cable come out here rather than out of the shaft. Right. Because when it comes out of the shaft, you can't telescope it down. you've probably discovered that, Jeff, when you're
Yeah.
if you come out here, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot better. So
So
this thing, it slices through the water. When you're underwater, normally it's really hard to move the detector through the water because it's, there's so much drag when it's bigger. But when you have a thin profile like this and you don't have any cable on the outside, it's very quick. And so you can move at like the same speed as you would on land underwater. And that's even if you're just waiting or whatever, you're going to be able to have that speed. So having that small 9-inch coil on the dais and very minimal drag is going to massively increase your finds rate, the amount of stuff that you find, and that's what we're there for, obviously.
yeah. So when you get all those shafts ready, Ed, I know somebody watching, Gene P wants 2 of them as well. I want 2 of them. If you're doing complete dais shafts, I want them. Just send them to Phil when you get them. And, I want them. And
Done
she
deal.
wants 2.
It's going to happen. Done deal.
Yeah.
And I
When
think probably
is
the
your
mumbled man will probably want 2 as well.
yeah? And when do you think you'll have them in production where you'll have them?
So my last piece is being it's designed. It's just being made at the moment. The injection mold for the plastic part on the end. That'll probably be another about 20 days to make that. So I'm guessing a month or more, including all the shipping and everything. But yeah, probably a month to 2 months is like realistic. I just want to make sure that it's right before I release it, and definitely
Right.
100%. But yeah, I do make things because I personally I really want to use the detector and understand it, and I make these things out of passion. I don't really make that. I didn't start out this as a business. I just started because I like detecting a lot, and I wanted to make some things to make the detectors a bit better.
Well, we got 10 sold already.
Brilliant.
I know Phil will probably want them because he likes it because it's going to be a little longer.
Yes.
And he's tall. I want 2 of them. Gene P wants 2 of them. Tim Naylor wants 2 of them. And I can tell you there's probably a whole bunch of other people that want it as well. So.
Yep. Gotcha. Brilliant.
Yeah, so that'll be nice to have the hole already drilled. All the person have to do is pop that on, feed the antenna wire through it, and it'll be ready to go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because I tell you what, when I had my Equinoxes, and I no longer have an Equinox, but both my Equinoxes, when I had them, both had Detect Ed shafts on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So what other products have you got coming out for the Deus 2?
So at the moment, it's just the lower shaft. However, like I mentioned, we might the middle shaft seems like you guys would be interested in that, and a lot of other people will. As the need comes up, we'll address that and possibly come out with the middle as well. At this point, I kind of can't poke too many holes in the dais. I mean, same with the Legend. So the Legend, I make these things to address a problem, not just to make a full carbon fiber shaft for the sake of it. And those machines are very nice how they are, and I don't like to, I kind of do them for my own love of the detector, and I'm like, it's sweet how they are mostly. But that's a good question. If people any Deus 2 users are in here, get questions lined up for the end or things that you might want. And I'll definitely look into them as new products. But
yes,
go ahead.
I was going to say, Jeff had mentioned the locking mechanism to lock that control housing on the shaft. That would be a nice product if you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. To make
that
one,
would be a big plus.
To make one that's not 3D printed as well, because the 3D printed.
We got a question for you, Ed, from Shannon Bortner off YouTube, and wants to know if there are going to be different colors available for the shafts.
Yeah, so the very first launch there won't be, but there will be later, certainly. Yeah.
Outstanding. Well, you got to keep us posted when everything is happening, so we can get it posted on the page and keep talking about it and take orders.
Absolutely. Excellent. So also for the Legend, I can't say too much about it, but we're working on some products for that as well. Just look, like I said, it is an extremely solid. The thing about the Legend is it is an extremely solid build. So it's hard to kind of make it better. It's possible to make it lighter, but only a little bit because it's already it's already got a carbon fiber lower shaft, as you know. But in terms of like customization, I know people like their colors and customization. I might have some really cool customization coming out for the Legend and Simplex as well.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
because the Legend rod and the Simplex lower rods are they're the same. So
Yeah. And that actually brings up a interesting point is that this is a Simplex and Legend lower shaft, and this is the new Deus one, and they look very similar. However, and some people will try to use this with their Deus, the Simplex and Legend one, but it is too big. So when you put it in and then you clamp it down, it'll actually crack the carbon fiber, and you can hear it cracking. I've tried it. It basically just cracks it because it's clamping down on this too hard. So if you do try and, it's also going to be very tight. So if you do get any sand in there, this shaft's never going to come out. So,
yeah, it'll weld itself in place.
Yeah, we've had that happen before.
All right, so you've used all three detectors. Which one is your favorite?
Look, I can't say I have a favorite. I don't use the Equinox anymore because of the waterproofing. And that's my thing is I really want a very waterproof detector, which kind of lends itself. The Deus does have a 20-meter rating, but the Legend also, it only has a 3-meter rating, but I think in my opinion, it could go deeper. And I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. We can't recommend that, but it's built tough. Yes. So both of those machines are built tough. I've used I've actually had a bit more success with the Legend, just out of luck, really. Where my first day when I actually took it for a dive, I was only snorkeling. I got 9 rings with it. 3 of them were gold, and one of them was this gold sovereign ring here. So that's got a gold sovereign coin in it.
Nice.
You probably can't really see it very well. But
that's one of my questions on here. If you found a gold coin, and that's a gold coin there. That's awesome.
So it's well, I've got a couple gold coins now. One in this ring and one I got loose, this is a half sovereign here, and then I've got a full sovereign as well. But so far, I've actually got a full YouTube video using the Legend, and when I found all those rings, I got 7 out of the 9 of them on the I caught them on the GoPro. But I've had the most luck with the Legend, but both of them, I love the bone conduction headphones on the Deus. They're really loud. Not to say that they're going to come out with bone conduction, or they're working on bone conduction headphones. Have you heard anything about that?
No, but I'm not a fan of the bone conduction. But of course,
really?
I love them. I love them.
Yeah,
now, when you're using them diving, you can hear it perfectly while you're underwater.
So unlike any other detector, I can hear absolutely perfectly. In fact, if you crank it up, it's too loud. It's like your ears are gonna be bleeding if you turn it up too much. The other thing, if you had a diving hood on, because it's cold, you can actually put the bone conduction headphones on the outside of the diving hood and still hear them perfectly. So that's the advantage. If you try and put headphones over your diving hood, you won't hear a thing and they'll slip off. Right. So Nocta mentioned that they're working on it. I believe the Legend has the actual power to power them. That's the thing, is the Equinox never had enough power to power the waterproof headphones loud enough, in my opinion. So the Legend and the Deus 2, they can both power real high energy headphones like the bone conduction loudly, which is really important.
What I found with the bone conductive headphones, Ed, is my hearing is not great, and I had the best set of headphones I could get, and my hunting buddy, one of them, the Mumbles man, he could hear tones that I couldn't hear because
Yeah.
we tested and we had same setup, exactly 100% the same setup, same headphones, same detector, everything.
Yep.
And now with the bone conductive phones, I don't have that problem. I can hear even just the slightest signal. I mean, I've dug a dime, 27, 28 inches deep,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's in wet sand. So,
And another thing is both of those machines, both the Legend and the Deus 2, they have the audio gain / audio response setting. So you can
yeah,
crank that audio. It's called audio gain in the Legend, and it's called audio response in the Deus 2. If you maximize that, or increase it towards the top, you're going to make even the smaller signals sound loud. That is an absolutely critical feature that other detectors, like if you're like you want to really maximize your experience, increasing that audio response to make those what would normally be a whisper into a loud signal, that's a game changer for those two detectors. And it's amazing that the Legend at its price point is gonna, it's got something that the Deus 2 has as well. Yeah, it's insane. So definitely, even if so, for those that are listening, if you don't have the greatest hearing and you can't hear very well, try increasing that audio gain or audio response if you have either of those two machines. It's really, really brilliant tip there.
yeah, it's very much so. Somebody just said that there's a multiple, what'd she say? Appears that there is multiple people interested in glow in the dark carbon fiber shafts.
So when you're diving, are you using a hookah system or are you using tanks?
So that dive where I found the 9 rings with the Legend, that was actually just snorkeling. I was so tired after 4 hours because I was just diving down and then coming back up and diving down. But when I do dive, sometimes I use the hooker, like a Nemo dive system, or a Nomad soon, and then sometimes I use scuba, depending on if there's access to power to charge the batteries, or if there's a dive shop nearby to refill it. Because I might be traveling, I got a van with a bed in it and everything else in it. So it's all about what I can get access to. If I can get to a dive shop easy, then I'll fill the tanks up. If not, then I'll charge the Nemo up. And if neither, then I'll just try and hold my breath.
Yeah, I just started using a Nemo, and I haven't taken it in the Gulf yet, but I'm going to do that probably in a couple weeks. Try it out in the
Definitely,
Gulf.
it's great.
Yeah,
How many times in the pool, Phil?
twice. So I guess I'm ready for the Gulf now. I took the little
That's right.
class and learned how to use it. So I'll probably use the bone conductive. Now, do you have to wear earplugs? No.
Underwater, no, you don't need to. You can just leave your ears open. The bone conduction just sits on your temple here.
Yeah. I tried them, but I couldn't use them on the beach because I got too much ambient noise, and then I put earplugs in, and I just didn't like that experience. So maybe in the water it's different.
Well, one of the reasons, I like that. I wear earplugs too because of all the ambient noise. But another reason why I really like the bone conductive headphones is I've been cut on too many times by the dermatologist. So I bought me a great big wide brim floppy hat to wear in the water.
Yeah.
And I can wear it with the bone conductors, but not with headphones.
Yeah.
So that was another plus for me.
That's definitely a plus. It's a consideration, especially here in Australia. As where you are as well. Just the UV, and just being able to wear a broad brim hat with either bone conduction or backphones, or if you can't, just use a speaker, I guess. But when you're underwater, having a waterproof bone conductive headphones, definitely a big deal to be able to wear a full brim hat on.
It is for me for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to try when I get a chance to get it in the Gulf. I'll use the bone conductive, and then I have another set. Oh, it sounds like we're getting rain moving back in. I've got another set I've got the Gray Ghost amphibians for when I'm just beach hunting. I'll probably use them for that.
Yeah.
And they're nice and loud. They are loud.
Yeah. Is that with the Deus, is it?
Yeah, he's using those for the dais too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what that's great. Like the Deus can power them well enough, definitely. But on some detectors, they can't power the even those headphones. They might be like great headphones, but the machine itself doesn't have enough amplification to power them loud enough. That's my experience. So
Yeah.
definitely the Legend and Deus 2 have that power to power them.
So, what other products are you working on?
So I don't have any. Well, okay, actually I do. I got another one. So there's still a ton of Equinox users, and obviously, and it's still a great machine.
Yes.
And I know that over the years we've had a lot of people that do want a more like compact shaft, and I know that you did ask Steve about that last week if he's going to make a more telescopic one, and he said he probably wasn't. But I do have a complete one right here. So that's completely telescoped down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I don't know if it's going to be a massive product. Like maybe, people will really love it. But I know there's some people being able to, put it in their small car or take it on the plane more easily or hike with it. Having a more compact detector, so it goes as, small as the Equinox, the Legend or the Deus 2 is really important. Because those two machines, they go down pretty small.
Mhm.
So making a shaft for the Equinox so it can also do it, it's important. It's important for some people to be able to do that. Personally, I'm fine with medium size. I don't mind if it's a bit bigger, but yeah, some people it's really important because they need to hike out to their locations and they've got a backpack or whatever. So yeah, or they're on a motorbike.
Yeah,
So
well, I think that'll be a big seller for you, Ed. I really do.
yeah,
I think Tom Becker wants to know, Phil, about screen protectors for the Deus 2 and Legend. What do you know about that, Philip?
Yeah, okay, that's a really good point. I do have screen protectors for both those machines that I've just released. So these are a hardened nano glass. So this is the one for the Legend because it's got the bigger screen, and we've also got ones for the Deus as well because neither of those machines come with screen protectors, and the Deus is such a high-end machine that you want to protect that screen.
Yeah.
And this glass screen protector is very hard and scratch resistant. Even if you do scratch it, just peel it off and get another one because we have them in packs of 3. So I'll just grab this. So this is the packaging. They come in a pack of 3.
Yeah, I want about 4 packs.
Yeah, that's a very useful product that's needed. So that's awesome you have them. And are they already here in the States?
They might just be arriving. So our distributors just ordered them. But if you want some personally, I can send them out to you as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
send them to me and send me a bill for them, and we'll.
No, I'll send you a set for both of you guys.
Oh, okay, nice.
Thank you.
Yes,
No worries, anytime.
And
it comes with the other thing is it comes with each screen. So you get 3 screen protectors in the package. These are hardened glass, so that they're not breakable. They're very flexible, but they're really hard. And then it comes with the cleaners as well. So you get 3 of these. So basically, you got the one which is the wet, and you just clean it with a wet. Then you'd use the dry one, number 2, and then just apply the screen protector carefully. Yeah, it's really just to protect your investment, and because occasionally, especially when you're chucking the detectors in the car with a shovel or something, that shovel can accidentally make contact with that screen occasionally.
Yes, I've seen that
on the beach, with sand will make ingress into everything, and it will be you're lifting your scoop up and you're looking in the scoop and the wet sand, it'll get on the screen. So have the screen protector.
Yeah, definitely. And these are nano glass, so the water just sheds off of them. It's got this like nanotechnology where the water just pills and just beads off it really easily. Really, really great little product. Just something I felt like, something I really wanted and needed. And thought everyone should have it too. So we got these for the Legend and for the Deus. So we've got, yeah, both of them.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah,
I'll send you my address when I send you the winners from tonight's drawing.
Yeah, perfect. I'll get them sent out to you guys.
Ah,
yeah, and I
cool.
just wanted to say Caitlin Grimes had just asked those questions about the Deus 2 and the Legend screensaver. So we got that covered. So yeah, and it looks like they're a heavy material, heavier than other ones that I've seen on other detectors.
Yeah, they are. So the other ones are normally a very thin plastic film.
Right.
So I'll take this one out actually, and I'll show you what it looks like when you take it out. So this, it's not tinted. It's completely clear, and it is quite a bit, sturdier than the average screen protector. It's got a bit of thickness to it. You're right. It's
Right.
like a bit of card.
Yeah.
And it's totally, it's not breakable or anything. It's totally flexible, but it makes it easy. So you just put one side on, you just slowly put it down until it's fully on. Just make sure that screen's completely clean before you put it on, and it's quite easy.
Yeah.
But if you do fail, you've got 3 in a pack. So
Right. And
yeah.
are they? Somebody's asking, are they anti-reflective?
No. So they're not more reflective than any other screen. They're not super reflective, but they're not matte either. They basically look the same as the screen. Yeah.
Looks the same as the screen. Yeah, that being thick like that, I know it's going to save a bunch of detectors because
Yeah.
I've seen so many screens with the Lesh Digger scratch in it or
Yeah.
punch in it, and
That's it.
that'll save it from that. So that's a good idea for your investment of your new detector. Is to
Yeah.
put one of those covers on it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've actually saved my Legend screen with mine already. You can see you got the screen, and then above it there's a scratch where that scratch would have continued all the way along the screen if it wasn't on if the screen protector wasn't on it. Yeah,
Right, for sure.
yeah,
And that Legend that Legend detector was built on the simplex housing, is what Dalik had said. So
yeah,
that's a very waterproof unit because I've never seen a simplex leak. I'm sure
yeah.
one could.
Yeah,
but I've
you're
never
absolutely right. Actually, I'm the Nocta service center here in Australia, and we've never had a simplex leak or a Legend leak ever. I've never had water in one ever. So that's why I feel confident when I take it in the water. Is I've
That's-
never ever, and like honestly, the servicing issues overall are very small. So it just makes me feel confident. Like there's nothing. If there's one thing I want to have about my detector, it's just reliable. That's it. Like everything else is secondary. If I can just make sure water doesn't get in it, then that's primary for me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's an awesome record to have when there's never been one leaked.
Yeah.
Or coilovers break.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that too.
yeah,
No coils is breaking either.
right. All righty. Any other products you've come out with or you got in the works?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. I've got potential other things. I don't know. Look, I'm always trying new things, so I'm not none. Most of the things I actually try, I never bring them to production because I just end up thinking, it's too niche. Like I really love the product, but maybe it's just too niche or whatever. But or for some reason they're too hard to produce and they're not affordable. So I do actually go through I've got a lot of samples of products, and I 3D printed a lot of prototypes because I have I do that as well. And a lot of those things just don't come to production, and that's fine too. But yeah, there will be definitely things in the future. There's definitely a few more things I'm working on right now. When we'll see. Yeah, I can't talk about them just yet
Okay.
because I don't. And again, with the dive shaft here, that might be. This is for the Deus 2 here. This dive shaft, this might not come into production. So this is just one I made for myself, and I have got a few people asking, so it might come into production after if enough people ask. But I do know I'm realistic, and I know that a lot of people are never going to dive with their detector.
Right.
Most people are never going to dive with it, which is that's just how it is. Is it not? It's not
Yeah.
not for everyone. But
Right.
if enough people really want it, then I'll make it.
Well, we might be able to sell some of those for you too, Ed. We've got a bunch of people up here that dive
Okay.
Yeah.
with on their Deus 2 users.
So I actually had a quick question for everyone who's watching. What would your detector fans like, in accessories, in the future, like whether it's, shovels or scoops or, things that you attach to your detector, upgrades, and what do you want in your next metal detector? Because I talked to Nocta Macro a bit, and I'll actually be visiting Nocta in Turkey in a couple months. And I'd love to talk to them about your ideas, and everyone's ideas, to see what do people want in the future of detecting. So yeah, what do you guys want to see firstly?
Well, for me, like I said, it's for the Deus 2, a good locking mechanism on the shaft for the remote control.
Yeah.
And the carbon fiber, pretty much everything you're working on, that's going to take me 100% down the line. As you've seen, people want the different colors in the carbon fiber shafts.
Yeah.
And I think people are serious about a glow in the dark. I don't know, but I'm sure
they could put glow in the dark
buy.
paint on it.
I think that what Jeff was talking about, the locking mechanism for the Deus 2, but as far as for the detectors, they have come so far in my detecting career. I'm just amazed of what we can do today compared to what we were doing before. But I got a couple comments here on Facebook that Jocelyn just handed me. One, Tom Becker saying, Phil, get some of the Deus 2 screensavers. Yeah, we're going to get those. That'll be the first call tomorrow when I get to work. I'm going to call the distributor to get some of those if he has them in already. If not, I'll be put on the order list for him, the back order list. And then the other question I had before I get to this comment is, now you're diving with your Deus 2 and with your Legend. My question is, how are you recovering your targets? That's
a really good question. So I've done it a few years now, and I've tried a variety of ways. Now it does depend on what kind of sand and substrate you are in, but the reality is the fastest and most proven way is just simply waving away the sand. So you don't actually need to touch the sand with your hands. You're just fanning, creating like a current, and it just blows the sand away. And I can do that very effectively. If you watch, I have a YouTube channel. It's called treasure_adventure, like treasure and then a little underscore adventure. You can see in my last video with the Legend where I find the 9 rings while snorkeling, is that I'm just fanning, and then if there's a big rock, I'll just pull it out. Because most of the time, if you're in a good location, the rocks start to show up because most of the sand's been, moved away. So in those good spots, there's normally where I am, there's rocks. Once the sand levels have come down. So I just wave with my hand. I don't use any digging tool because when you're underwater, you're almost weightless. Because I have a lot of weight on. So that's super critical when you're detecting underwater. You need a lot of weight on. You need to be confident in your swimming, and you need to be able to release that weight at any point if you are in trouble. But because you're still nearly weightless, I'm slightly negatively buoyant, so I sink with the weight on. But when you try and push with a shovel or scoop or something, you're just going to get pushed away, because you don't have enough weight to push down on the scoop or shovel or digging tool. So you can't actually use a digging tool very effectively once you get in the water, because as soon as you try and step on it or push on it, it just lifts you, because you can't do anything with it. So the best way overall is just to have a glove and just fan, and then occasionally drag some shells out and pick up some rocks and just pull them out. But just looking. You can many times actually, I've been digging one target and found another target. And a perfect example would be, I've got 2 gold chains here. these are not detectable in salt water. You can't find them with any of the detectors available when they're in salt water, because the salt water just completely hides them. And both of these, one was found next to a coin, because I was digging a coin, I just saw this, and the other one was found next to a sinker. So my biggest tips is, if you're doing underwater detecting, is just always looking and just fanning and just making sure you don't make too much disturb. If you make the sand go everywhere, you can't see anything. So yeah, that's how I do
Okay,
it.
we got a suggestion from Dan Russo, and this is something that, I would probably go for as well, is a water pouch with a waterproof compartment that you can put your keys and your phone in.
Yeah, that's a
That
good
would be
suggestion.
absolutely killer.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, actually. Love it.
Alrighty, and then this comment was from Facebook from Caitlin Grimes. She's asking, has the Detect Ed treasure pouches been redesigned since the last treasure you were last on the show here?
Yeah, that's a good point. So last time they might have had a little holster here for the pinpointer, but what we found is, because each pinpointer, some are really big, like the Pulse Dive's really big, and then the MI4, the XP pinpointer is really narrow. So it's hard to make just a sleeve here that every size pinpointer can fit in. So what I did is I just made this bag. I made this bag longer so that you can just easily fit the pinpointer in the bag itself. So I just leave this open most of the time and just put everyday finds in there, and then the really good keepers I put in the front pouch. So I put in this, it's kind of like a hidden pouch, and then there's the carabiner to put rings and stuff on, which is pretty standard these days. But this whole pouch here, it does drain out all the water and sand. So when you are in the water, you can just shake it, and then all the sand's just going to come out, and because what happens is, for me, if I don't have this drainage, it just gets full of sand, like completely, like bulging with sand when I'm underwater. So that just has a mesh bottom to drain out all the sand, which is a great feature on it.
And we had some more comments of people wanting the screensavers. So yes, we're going to get them.
Excellent.
First job Tuesday morning.
Yep, let's do some giveaways, huh?
Oh yes, I saw the banner going there. Got ahead of myself. So,
okay, people, everybody knows that we are giving away 3 of the Detect Ed pouches tonight, and they are killer pouches. And as you know, if you signed up on Facebook or on YouTube or any of the other places, that you had to use a phrase is, I want a Detect Ed pouch. And believe me, you do want one. So here's the deal. I've got the names and some alternates. I'm going to call the 3 names of the winners. You'll have 3 minutes from the time your name is called to text or Facebook Messenger, either Phil or myself. Our phone numbers are crawling across the bottom of the screen. And you have to text with your name and you are here. Then what you must do in order to receive your prize, and this is the only way that you will receive it, is you send an email with your name, address, phone number, size, or whatever, and must include your phone number to treasuretalkshow@gmail.com. That way I can forward it to Ed and we'll get your prize right out to you. So that being said, at 7:53, if you have not answered, I'm going to go on to somebody else. So here's the names. Listen up. Get your fingers ready. Metal Detecting the 6, John David and Jimmy Berube Levesque. You 3 are the winners. Get on it. Okay. We'll give them their 3 minutes.
So digging underwater, then you just fan with your hand. What if the sand is like a foot or 2 deep? Does it take a long time to fan that?
Well, generally, when you go up, take the coil underwater, like the detectors normally don't detect more than a foot deep once you get into that scenario. In my experience, is that a coin and ring size targets can't be detected beyond 12 inches when it's fully submerged in the salt water that we have. And like all the tests that I've done, burying the targets and just seeing how deep it can detect it when underwater, and it maxes out at 1 foot. And it is hard to dig 1 foot, trust me, because it can. But you don't want to detect any deeper than that because it gets too hard.
Yeah, I might have to turn my detector goes deeper than that, so I might have to turn my sensitivity down.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't have to worry about digging 2-foot holes, because that's what I worried about is how do you get, way down to the deep targets like that? Because, you experience that too, don't you, Jeff, when you're digging in the water?
Yep, sometimes it's just really deep. What we need, I know what we need, Detect Ed, to make, Phil, a portable mailbox that we can lower on the detector, like they use for the Atocha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the 1715 fleet, where they blow the engine prop water down to blow these big holes in the
He
sand.
could make it so it have a straw come up and you just go. Did you get some kind of a text there, Phil?
No, that was from somebody who I don't know who it was. They commented they couldn't find us on Facebook, but he's watching it on YouTube. So,
Well, I guess the winners must not. They got about 45 seconds.
yeah, and let me make sure I didn't get any messages, but I don't think so. No, I did not. So when they get to 45 seconds, we'll move on to the next winners then.
Yep, we sure will.
I should have entered my name in that drawing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have about 20 seconds. So those people's names I called, I guess they don't want the pouch.
Now, Ed, you're in Australia, so have you done any gold nugget hunting?
So I have actually done a little bit. I don't live near any gold fields myself. However, earlier this year, we went to a gold expo. We took some Nocta detectors, the Legend and the Gold Cruiser, and when we were out there, we did some gold prospecting the day before. So I had to go with the Gold Cruiser and the Legend, and we actually found a couple pieces with each of them. Just they're super, super, super small. So in the area that we were detecting, it was mainly small gold. I mean, most gold is small, but and these were they won't even register on my scales, which go to 0.01 grams. So they're like the size of an ant type thing. So the Legend and Gold Cruiser can hit those really well.
Well, good.
Let's call some more names, Phil.
All right. It looks like, yeah, I don't have any messages. So,
Okay, neither do I. So we're going to go with Chuck Martin, Mike Mayo, and Surfside Dan.
Chuck, Mike, I know 2 of those people. Surfside Dan, I don't know. Chuck and
It's Dan Russo.
Dan Russo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Chuck and Mike are in the Tampa Bay and the West State Archaeological Society Metal Detecting Club. And I just had a message from my friend Howard Metz, and he's over in the Suncoast Research and Recovery Club. And I think their meeting, I miss it all the time because it's on the, I believe it's the 3rd Monday night of the month over in Largo, which is across the bay from me here.
Mike Mayo is a winner.
Oh, there's one. Let's see the other 2 real quick.
Yep, we need those other 2, Chuck Martin and Surfside Dan.
So, Ed, you didn't find the Bloody Ripper?
No, not this time.
I watch too many Australian gold nugget shows
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're digging them. They always find these bloody rippers. So,
Bloody ripper.
Yeah, there's a ripper. Yeah, we got Trevor coming up too.
do we? Oh, from Coil Tech. Okay.
Yeah. He's a ripper.
Yeah. And Big Papa's not here tonight. And Big Poppy.
Yeah, he was here.
Oh, is he? He's on
He
YouTube.
was.
So
He's on YouTube.
he's been awful quiet. Normally he'll chime in and send me a
Well, he hadn't been that quiet.
Oh, okay. I don't see
He's not
YouTube.
losing his touch. Let's put it that way.
I don't see YouTube, so I don't see what he's saying. That's my friend Joe. He helps me on Saturdays at the shop, and he's got the Deus too, and he uses the 9-inch coil. Now, when you're diving? Are you using the 9-inch coil?
I am because of the, like I say, the drag. It makes it very, when you have a bigger coil on, it's very hard to swing through the water. I mean, a lot harder. So I can notice a difference when I go to a 9-inch coil. It just makes it so much easier. And again, if you detect too deep underwater, it almost becomes pointless because, you can't dig deep enough, and there's no tool yet available that can really help you with that yet. So, like you guys were saying, you do need some kind of mailbox. I've tried using a sea scooter and blowing the sand away with a, underwater sea scooter type device. It's very hard though. So, I use a 9-inch.
Yeah, so I might have to borrow my buddy Joe's coil. He just send me a message that he's here. So I
Is
might have
that him bugging you?
yes, he was, and yeah, he's trying to give me a hard time on here, but whatever.
Okay, our prizes are spoken for.
Awesome. That's awesome. We got our prizes. And for the folks that don't know how Jeff does that, he's got this little random name picker program, and I got to use it while he was on vacation up in Canada. And it's pretty cool because you copy everybody's info and you plug it in there, and then it spits out randomly 3 names. So pretty interesting doing it.
Yep, it does. So to me, that's about the fairest way we can do it. And
Yeah.
sometimes people are just, some people are lucky and other people are not. That's the only thing I can say. I myself never have much luck. If it wasn't for bad luck, I probably wouldn't have any. So,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I scored big tonight, thanks to my friend down under.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Got some screen covers coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And we will definitely, I will be in touch, Ed, about getting you on for another show. You'll have most of your stuff all done, probably by January, I'm thinking, won't you?
Yeah, hopefully.
Oh,
And we'll get you back on in January for an update show.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That would be killer, because
Yeah.
people always want the updates. And I can tell you some of the stuff you've talked about tonight. I know that and Phil will attest to this. These people say they want it. They want it.
Yeah, they
And,
want the product for sure.
Yeah.
And I know the way manufacturers talked. I listened to them. And Ed, you said in October, so I'm gonna hold you to that one. But most of the time, the manufacturers, oh, we'll have this by Christmas, and then you see it 6 months later. So don't do
Look,
that.
it is hard, especially now. Things, like some things I'm having to get by sea, and costs of everything. Yeah, it is. Things are getting. I mean, they were always timelines are hard to keep, but they're especially hard now.
Yeah, especially with trying to get materials and stuff like that. I imagine that's a nightmare.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a challenge now.
And I'll tell the folks who didn't win the Detect Ed pouch, I should have those in the shop again on Wednesday. So I saw I've got a tracking notice saying it would be there Wednesday. So if you didn't win, you still want the Detect Ed pouch, we have them in stock on Wednesday, or we will have them there Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to the Detect Ed shaft because I got spoiled when I owned Equinoxes with Detect Ed shafts.
Yeah.
I mean, just flat spoiled.
It's night and day difference because sometimes I might, help someone out with their Equinox and it doesn't have a carbon shaft. And it's like, wow, okay, this is a lot heavier. And yeah, it makes all the difference. The fact is you can detect longer because you're not getting tired. You can detect faster. And, it just means you're going to find more stuff.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I think for what you showed us for that telescoping shaft for the Equinox, because still a tremendous amount of Equinox users out there, that certainly would be something they would want to have in their arsenal.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, especially if they're going on a trip with it, traveling, that'd be perfect for them. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, when my friends come over and we load up my truck to go detecting, we got a bunch of stuff back there. You
Yeah.
got shovels and you got the detectors and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. And the smaller you can get it, I think the safer it's going to be in the back of the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. And the other critical thing is that some telescopic shafts, they only telescope like this. They don't turn like that.
Right.
So when you have it like that, it doesn't really fit in a backpack because it's not, or anything, because it's not flat. But if you can turn it flat, it's a very much a smaller profile that you can easily fit under stuff, in a backpack or whatever. Because so some are locked straight and they can't turn. But if you can turn it and then put it together like that, just clamp it down like that, it's so much better.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, I noticed that with the Legend. I didn't have a bag for it, and you can't turn that coil like that on the Legend to fit it in another detector bag.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Well, Jeff, it looks like we're over our time limit, buddy.
Yeah, we are. I mean, when you're having fun, it flies by, doesn't it, Ed?
Yeah,
It
that's
sure
it.
does. Well, let me say this, Ed. Thank you for coming on, and thanks for doing the door prizes, the pouches. And like I
Thanks a
told
lot.
the folks here, if they didn't win, they weren't the lucky one tonight. We've got them in. We'll have them in stock on Wednesday. So thank you, Ed, for coming on and showing your products.
You're welcome.
I'm talking to you, and now I picked up a little info on how I'm going to recover targets while I'm underwater with my Nemo.
Yeah.
Jeff, and thank you, Jocelyn, for helping me here on Facebook. And I'll turn it over to you.
All righty. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And we want to just say it was a great time. Ed, you're fantastic. Your products are fantastic. We just can't thank you enough for sharing it with us. And the giveaway, the pouches winners, I'll get them in the email to you tomorrow. And I'll include my email in there, just, So I will be in touch to get you back on the show to give us an update, because people love it when you come on, as do we. We get a lot of really good information. So, Ed, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to come on with us and educate us about what's new at Detect Ed. So, with that being said, everybody, thanks, Phil. You're my brother from another mother. Thanks, Jocelyn. And Big Poppy, if you're out there, you done good, son. All righty. So, with that being said, we're out of here for tonight. Happy hunting and dig deeper.
Absolutely.
Thank
Happy
you,
hunting,
guys.
dig deeper.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on with us.
Good night, everybody.